I need you to slap some sense into me.
Again, okay?
Yes, but yeah.
Okay.
Um, hmm, okay. Um, Oneness is not 100% sure that it's oneness.
What would it be then?
The dog,
I
or
get
in my case, more like a monkey, like a Hollywood monkey making stories and being.
let me let me just jump in and let's go through a couple of exercises together, okay?
Yeah.
So let's go back to our courtroom, all right? And you'll remember that this is a special courtroom. We want the truth and only the truth, and we don't care where it comes from. We just want to know what is true. So, and it's your job in this special courtroom as sort of half defendant and half defense attorney to actually how shall I say it's your job to convince the judge that there really is a Laurent. Can you? How are you
No,
doing?
no, it's not about Laurent. Laurent is not here.
Oh, Laurent's not here.
No, no, no. It's nothing to do with Laurent. Not
Okay.
a thing.
So if you're not Laurent, then what are you?
I am oneness.
Yeah.
What is this? I don't know how to explain this thing that is so defensive and judgmental and is still
Oh,
here if I am oneness.
okay. So there is no Laurent, but there is Laurentness. Can
Yes.
you, that's right. That's what you're experiencing. Okay.
Yes.
Because what happens is you've been Laurent for decades. Yes, as far as you knew, you were Laurent. You had and then you discover, oh, I'm not Laurent because there isn't one, right? And and you think everything's going to change. This is great because now I know not to do stupid things and this and that and the other. And then if you look at the body and you notice it's doing stupid things anyway, and the mind is still going through crazy patterns, and and this will go on until it doesn't. It usually, for me, when I woke up, in a way, it was almost worse after I woke up than it was prior because it was I could still I now I could see what an idiot this thing was. Okay. I was an idiot before, but I didn't know it.
Hmm.
Now I was an idiot, and I was and awakeness, which I was aware of it, but it felt like Fred was looking at Fred and going, "Man, like God, well, I'm ashamed of you." Right? I'm ashamed to be you. You shouldn't have thoughts like that. You shouldn't act like that. You shouldn't hurt people. You shouldn't be selfish. You shouldn't. Nonetheless, I was. So being those things. When I say I just mean Fred Ness, the patterns, because that's what is there are, is that Laurent is not a true thing, but Laurent Ness is a series of patterns, which we're kind of calling Laurent Ness out of convenience, right? And they have been just as a way of grabbing it. And these patterns have been swirling there. And this, right? It's not a real location because there's not a center to it, but it's more or less like a location. Let's call it the body. And it's been swirling around and inside that body and all that for decades. And a quick surprise that you're not Laurent doesn't stifle that. It doesn't knock that out. So that's what clearing is learning when I talk about wake up, clear up, and the clear up part is number one, is our objective is to try to stay in Um, well, try to stay in sanity. I mean, try to stay in sanity, not the just try to remain sane. Yeah, because before we wake up, we're really, really crazy. And then once there's an awakening, we're really, really crazy, but we can see it. And that's uncomfortable. I didn't wake up to be a crazy guy. I woke up to be like a saint or something like that, right? I woke up in the wrong body to do that. Okay. And when I when I woke up in some other bodies, that was perfect for being a saint. This body is no good at being a saint at whatsoever. So it's stuck with just being a sage, and I'm okay with that. The because it is what it is. I may as well be okay with it because it's what is. I could argue with that, but to argue with what is painful. You notice that? Yeah. So, what are the crazy patterns that are coming through?
First, I still see people as people. They're not me, even though I am oneness. They are people. Okay.
Okay.
I have a general.
Let's look at that contradiction. Okay. I don't. I still see people as people. I am oneness, but I still see people as people. So what you're saying is, I understand I'm oneness, but and I understand that intellectually. It's just not my experience. Is that right?
No, it's more than intellectual.
Okay.
It's the weird thing that I'm in right now is that I can feel oneness, if I can use these words. Okay.
That's fine.
And yet there are contradictions with what I live. Sometimes, not all the time. Like, for example, today I was in nature and it was, I felt it was one, basically. But when I was on my bike and I passed people and I'm like, oh, I still see them as people, as different from me.
So let me ask you quickly, is that a problem?
No, it's just a question.
Okay. Well, I've answered the question best I can. I don't want to go any further. We might create a problem.
Okay.
Just recognize that these mental patterns will continue. They'll go away slowly, provided you stay hooked up. I mean, just keep going back during the day and noticing who you are. I don't care I don't care if you set a timer. I mean, that's kind of ridiculous, but I wouldn't care if you did. To just go and notice who you stop and notice who you are. Know who you are. Just close your eyes for a minute, or if you don't have to, but it's easier at first if you do. Close your eyes for just a minute and just notice. There is an aliveness that has no border, that has no center, and that is me. That's what with quotes around it, that's what I appear to be. We can just go ahead for the moment, just say I am. So stopping and noticing that will become habitual because it's not how long you are in the knowing of, in the actual experiencing. Because I'm not sitting over here squealing from joy, this is just like like I did for a while and have again numerous times with awakening. Oh, this is great! It just, I'd fall in love with a TV cabinet and a bookcase and an ashtray. And fall in love pretty easily when you're here, but you're not going to experience that full time. There's no need to, because see, the one thing you probably don't understand yet, and this may be helpful, is that this awakening is your awakening, not Laurent's and not that body's. So the changes, there will probably be some changes that show up within relativity with that body. I don't know anybody in long term who hasn't had them. But the big deal is that this is awakeness's awakening. And so far as awakeness can tell, this seems to be going just right. Yeah, and your awakening sounds like it's doing beautifully. I can't tell you how thrilled I am that you know that you are oneness. Okay. To know that you are oneness the day after you discovered that you were, or 2 days after you discovered you were oneness. That's terrific. I would not worry about another thing. Okay. Is that helpful at all?
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Good. Excellent.